Welcome to episode 10 of the Rewire. I am your host, Vannara Loch. And this is the last episode of season 1. Now I want to start with a question, not a teaching, not a framework, just a question. And I want you to sit with it honestly before I say anything else. When did you last update your phone? When did you last update your apps, your software, the tool you are using to navigate daily life? Probably recently, probably without thinking twice, because you understand, without anyone needing to explain it, that outdated technology does not perform the way it should, that an old program running on new demands creates friction, slowness, and failure. You update without resistance. You update without guilt. You update because that is simply what you do when something needs to work better. Now, here is the question I want you to sit with. When did you last update yourself? Not your skills, not your career, not your habits or your diet or your fitness routine. The program running underneath all of that. The beliefs about who you are. The automatic reactions. The identity you carry into every room, every relationship, every decision you make. When was that last updated? Because for most of us, if we are honest, the answer is never. Not deliberately, not consciously, not with the same intention we bring to upgrading everything else in our lives. The program running your internal world was installed before you had any say in it, before you could evaluate it, before you even knew it was being installed. And here is what I want you to imagine. Imagine running the same version of yourself, the same reactions, the same beliefs, the same automatic responses for the rest of your life. Not because you chose to, because you never updated. How does that feel? Now here is the truth that everything in season 1 has been building toward. Every one of us is carrying an identity that was not chosen deliberately. It was conditioned. What we believe about ourselves, what we think we are capable of, what we tell ourselves we deserve, most of it was not decided by us. It was installed by the people around us, by the experiences that shaped us, by a world that handed us a self-concept before we had the wisdom to question it. The child who was told they were too sensitive and learned to go numb. The person who was excluded and learned that being seen was dangerous. The one who was praised only for performance and learned that love was conditional. These are not personality traits. They are programs. Installed early, reinforced daily, running silently in the background of everything. I lived from a program I never chose for most of my adult life. I believed I was introverted. I believed I was not the kind of person who took up space or showed her face. I believed the safe thing was to stay inside the walls of what society said a person like me should do. I did not question any of it. It felt like truth. It felt like me. And what I know now is that none of it was me. It was a program running as me, a set of conclusions formed before I had the awareness to recognize them as conclusions, not facts, not destiny, conclusions that could be revised. And here is what that means. If the program was installed, it can be updated, not all at once, not without effort, but deliberately, daily, consistently. And it can be rewritten into something that actually belongs to you. And that is what Rewire is. Not a self-improvement program, not a productivity system. An update, a daily, deliberate, conscious upgrade of the program running your life. From the one that was handed to you to the one you are choosing. Now, over the last 9 episodes, we have built the complete Rewire, not a concept. As a daily practice you can begin or return to today. Here is Season 1 Complete Rewire Review. Episode 1, we name Survival Mode. You are not broken. You are running an old program under pressure it was never designed for. Episode 2, we mapped the 6 cycles, the reaction, the emotion, the mental loop, the identity, the relational, the energetic. Every cycle is a pattern you can now see. Episode 3, we felt the cost. What the unexamined program is taking from your relationships, your body, your purpose, your sense of self. Episode 4, we named identity as the foundation. You cannot change your life by changing your actions. Change the identity and everything follows. Episode 5, we built the daily practice, the priming sequence, the anchor, the morning commitment that turns declaration into lived reality. Episode 6, we used the body as the first tool, the smile and the breath, shifting state in under 90 seconds before the world sets it for you. Episode 7, we entered the alpha window, the frequency your brain produces every morning, where new programs install without resistance. Episode 8, we discovered mind-heart coherence, the signal the heart broadcasts every second. Why you will never want to feel stressed passively again. Episode 9, we wrote it down. The hand encodes what the mind only thinks. The signal sent clearly from the right state calls the world towards you. And now, this is episode 10, the close of season 1. And what I want you to know is that everything in those 9 episodes was not information. It was a toolkit, a complete system for the daily update your internal program has been waiting for. Now, there is one more thing I want to say before we close, and it is the most important thing. You cannot reverse a lifetime of conditioning alone. The program that was installed in you was installed socially, by the people around you, by the environment you were in, by what was modeled, repeated, and reinforced, day after day, by the world you grew up inside. And so the rewire, the real, lasting, daily rewire, also happens socially. It requires a container, people who are doing the same work, who hold you to the new identity when the old one is louder, who show you what is possible when the program begins to shift. This is why I built Rewire as a community, not just a course, not just a podcast. It's a living daily environment where the updates happens together, where you do not have to sustain the new identity alone in a world that is still running the old program around you. Because one person who rewires changes the people around them. One family that rewires changes the generation that follows. And one community that rewires daily together without apology changes the world, one identity at a time. Now I want to leave with one final question. A question that I want to leave in you long after this episode ends. Everything around you is evolving. Technology evolves. Science evolves. The world evolves. The people around you grow and change and expand into new versions of themselves. But what about you? What if the program running your internal world, your reactions, your beliefs, your sense of what is possible for you has not been updated since childhood? What if the version of yourself you have been living from was decided by someone else in a different time, under different circumstances? And what if, starting today, you decided to update it? Not all at once, not perfectly, but deliberately, daily, with a smile before the day begins, the breath that shifts the chemistry, the alpha window protected before the world demands anything from you, the coherent heart signal that broadcasts something different into the field, the written, spoken, felt declaration of who you are choosing to become. That is the rewire. A daily commitment to the most important update you will ever make. Season 1 is complete, and what comes next? I will let you feel for yourself. If this season changed something in how you see yourself, share it. Not for me, for the person in your life who is still running a program they never chose. Because sometimes the most generous thing we can do is hand someone the language for what they have been feeling their whole life. The community to anchor your new identity exists at school.com/rewired-8276. Come and do this work with people who are doing it too. I am Vannara. This is the Rewire. Stop managing your life. Start creating it.